You think you're exhausted, but in reality, the heart is just unfocused. The body does not tire when the purpose is strong. Look at how you can scroll on your phone for hours without needing a break, but the moment you open the Quran, suddenly you feel sleepy. You can sit with friends the whole night without getting tired, but 2 rakat of prayer feels heavy. This is not physical exhaustion. This is the heart calling out for alignment. When the heart forgets its owner, the world becomes heavy. But when the heart remembers why it exists and who it belongs to, even the heaviest hardships feel light. The soul was created to worship Allah, and anything that takes you away from Allah will drain you. You feel tired because your energy keeps leaking into things that don't nourish the heart. Your mind is busy, your environment is loud, your attention is constantly pulled. Your soul is not weak, it is hungry. Hungry for purpose, hungry for silence, hungry for a moment of real remembrance. The problem isn't that you don't have energy. The problem is that the energy is scattered everywhere except where it should be. When you give your heart to the world tires you. But when you give your heart to Allah, Allah gives you rest. Allah says in the Quran, verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. He didn't say the body finds rest, he said the heart does. Because if the heart is at peace, the body follows. But if the heart is restless, the body collapses, no matter how much sleep you get. You can sleep 10 hours and still feel exhausted, and you can sleep 3 hours and wake up energized if your heart is connected to Allah. The heart is the engine of your being. If it is aligned, everything flows. So many people say, I am tired. But what they mean is, I cannot feel my direction anymore. They say, I am overwhelmed. But what they mean is, my heart has wandered away from its anchor. You may think you need rest, but what you truly need is return. You need to return to your purpose. You need to return to your Lord, because the one who walks with Allah never walks alone and therefore never collapses alone. We live in a time where distraction has become our constant companion. There is always something taking our attention away from what matters. The phone, the world, the desires, the comparisons, the noise. You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired because your heart is fighting battles alone, without the remembrance that empowers it. When the heart is connected to Allah, even small deeds feel meaningful. When the heart is disconnected, even simple tasks feel impossible. Real strength doesn't come from the physical body. Real strength comes from the heart that knows its purpose, its Lord, its direction. When you remind yourself who you are, a servant of the Most Merciful, your steps become light, your struggles gain meaning, and your life gains clarity. You are not just someone trying to survive. You are someone chosen to live with intention, guided by Allah, carried by His mercy. So the next time you whisper to yourself, I'm tired, pause and ask your heart, when did I last sit with Allah? When did I last speak to Him? When did I last feel Him close? Because sometimes the cure to exhaustion is not sleep. Sometimes the cure is sujood, and when the forehead touches the ground, the heart rises. Remember, you are not tired. You are simply waiting to return to the one who strengthens you. Discipline is not about willpower. It is about sincerity. So many people think they lack strength, that they don't have enough motivation, that they are not built for consistency. But the reality is not that you are weak. The reality is that you have not yet connected your actions to your purpose. If you rely on motivation, you will always fail, because motivation rises and falls like the waves. One day you will feel ready to conquer the world, and the next day you will barely want to get out of bed. The one who waits for motivation will always remain stuck where they are, but sincerity is different. When you do something for the sake of Allah, you don't depend on how you feel. You don't depend on the energy of the moment. You depend on the one who never changes. This is why a sincere person remains steady. Their effort does not come from the ego, it comes from the heart. When you tie your actions to Allah, every attempt becomes sacred, every struggle becomes worship, every step becomes a path that Allah Himself strengthens. The problem today is that people want to appear disciplined in front of others. They want admiration. They want validation. They want to be seen as strong, consistent, productive. But if your discipline is for the eyes of people, then the moment no one is watching, it collapses. The person who prays only when others are around will not feel peace when they stand alone. The one who studies or works just to prove something to others will feel empty even after achieving it. Discipline that comes from the ego is fragile, but discipline that comes from sincerity is unbreakable. When your heart knows why you are doing something, the body follows easily. Think about fasting. You stay without food and water for entire days, even when you are hungry, even when you are tired. But you don't break your fast, not because you love hunger, but because your heart knows you are doing it for Allah. That is sincerity giving rise to discipline, not motivation, not excitement, just sincerity. Imagine applying that same sincerity to your life. To your worship, to your studies, to your habits, to your goals. You would no longer need to force yourself to wake up early. Your heart would wake you. You would no longer struggle to stay away from sin. Your heart would feel ashamed to disappoint the one you love. Discipline becomes natural when the heart is sincere, and sincerity does not mean perfection. Sincerity means returning again and again, even when you fall. Allah does not ask for you to never slip. Allah asks that when you slip, you return. When you get tired, you turn to Him. When you lose your way, you seek Him. The sincere one is not the one who never struggles. The sincere one is the one who never gives up on seeking Allah. So ask yourself, who am I doing this for? If you do it for people, it will die when they stop looking. If you do it for yourself alone, it will break when life becomes difficult. But if you do it for Allah, it will continue even when everything else is falling apart. The heart finds strength when its purpose is pure. You are not undisciplined. You are simply waiting to attach your actions to Allah. Under Allah's shade, your struggles are not just struggles. They become worship. Every difficulty you push through with the right intention is recorded as ibadah. And this is something many of us forget. We think worship is only prayer, Quran, dhikr, but the truth is, worship is every moment that you choose Allah over yourself. Worship is every second you keep going, even when your body wants to stop. Worship happens not just on the prayer mat, but in the quiet, unseen choices of your life. When you wake up tired, but you still say, "Let me stand before Allah," that is worship. When your heart is heavy, but you still say, "Alhamdulillah," that is worship. When someone hurts you and your ego is burning, but you choose to forgive for Allah, that is worship. When the temptation is strong and no one is watching, but you say, "Allah sees me," that is worship. Every struggle you continue with sincerity becomes a conversation between your heart and Allah. We often beg for ease, thinking ease is mercy. But sometimes the struggle is the mercy, because when everything is easy we forget. When everything is smooth, the heart does not cling. It is in weakness that we kneel, it is in pain that we remember, it is in loneliness that we return. Allah allows discomfort not to break you, but to pull you back to Him. The struggle you are going through is not punishment. It is training, it is shaping you into the person your soul is hoping to become. Look at how Allah deals with His servants. He sees every small effort, the tear that falls in the dark, unseen by anyone. He writes it. The breath you take when you are exhausted but you say, "Ya Allah, help me," He records it. The step you take towards Him when your body feels heavy, He multiplies it. Nothing is wasted, nothing is ignored. Nothing is unnoticed. Allah is Al-Latif, the one who sees the smallest details of your heart. Sometimes you look at others and think they are strong, they are disciplined, they are consistent, and you feel behind. But you don't see their inner battles and they don't see yours. Everyone is struggling with something. But those who remember Allah inside the struggle are the ones living under His shade. Their struggle becomes light because their heart is not carrying it alone. Allah carries it with them, so when you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, this moment is worship. When you feel like quitting, remind yourself, this effort is worship. When you feel unseen, remind yourself, Allah is watching every heartbeat. You are not going through this for no reason. Allah is building your patience. Allah is building your strength. Allah is softening your heart. Allah is guiding your soul back to Him. And there will come a day when you will look back and realize that the struggle you cried through was the very thing that elevated you. The thing that brought you closer, the thing that made your dua sincere, the thing that made your sujud deep. The thing that polished your heart until it could reflect the light of Allah. So don't run from struggle. Stand in it with Allah, because with Allah, struggle is not suffering, it is transformation. Every hardship you bear for His sake becomes a step toward Him. Deep inside you, there is a version of yourself your soul already knows, a stronger you, a calmer you. A more disciplined, more faithful, more focused you, and that version is not imaginary, it's not a dream. It's who you were designed to be. Allah placed that potential inside you the day He created you. The problem is not that you can't become that person. The problem is that you've accepted the weaker version of you as the truth. You've convinced yourself that you are someone who tries but never changes. Someone who starts but never finishes. Someone who always falls back. But that is not your identity. That is simply your habit, and habits change when the heart changes. You were created with strength. Allah says, we have indeed created humans in the best of forms, best. Not average, not weak, not broken, best, but somewhere along the way, we let the world convince us that we are less than what we were made to be. We let the voice of disappointment, failure, fear, and comparison drown out the voice of the soul. The soul keeps saying, rise, while the dunya whispers, settle, and many of us settle. We settle for comfort, we settle for distraction, we settle for laziness, but the soul was not built for comfort. The soul was built for elevation. Becoming the best version of yourself is not about sudden transformation. It is about returning to what Allah already placed inside you. Think of a seed. Inside a seed is a tree. The seed may look small, insignificant, fragile, but within it lies the potential to become something tall, strong, rooted, providing shade and fruit. Your soul is that seed, and discipline is the watering, effort is the sunlight, struggle is the soil. Allah already placed the greatness. You just have to nurture it. But understand something. The better version of you does not appear when life becomes easy. It appears when you stand firm while life is hard. It appears in the moments when you do not want to continue, but you continue anyway. It appears in the times when Shaitan whispers, just give up, and you whisper back, Allah is with me. Every time you choose Allah over excuses, you step closer to the person you were always meant to become. You don't need the world to believe in you. You don't need applause. You don't need encouragement from others. All you need is to remember who your Creator is. The one who created mountains, oceans, galaxies, and the miracle of your beating heart is the one who placed strength inside you. How could you ever think you are weak? Weakness only comes when the heart disconnects. Strength flows when the heart returns. So from this moment, stop saying, I can't. Stop saying, I always fail. Stop saying, I am tired of trying. These words are not from your soul. They are from your nafs. Your soul knows Allah. Your soul recognizes strength. Your soul remembers the covenant it made before it entered this world. Your soul has always been calling you to rise. Listen to it. Say instead, Allah is with me. Say, Allah will strengthen me. Say, Allah guides whom He wills, and I am seeking Him. Because when Allah is with you, nothing is beyond reach, not change, not discipline, not growth, not healing, not transformation. Become who your soul has always known you could be.